Hey guys, how's it going? Jay Sensational here, and today I have a deck guide for a deck that was very popular a few seasons ago, kind of fell into obscurity once TLC was released as Lissandra Trundle Control, or Trundle Lissandra Control, whatever you want to call it. But now that Watcher's been nerfed, Field Rush has been seeing a resurgence to fit into that SI failure deck slot. And I think it's actually pretty good in the meta currently because a lot of decks don't expect to play into cards like Vengeance, Ruination, the hard removal from SI. So a very strong deck that was very popular back then. If you like the deck then you're going to love playing the deck now. So feel free to sit back and enjoy the deck guide. Okay, so just taking a look at the deck list, this is going to look very standard and very similar to basically any SI failure deck in the past and in the future. You have your champions, which are Trundle and Tryndamere for this Field Rush, and then the rest of your deck is control cards. You have some units in Sentry and Tavern Keeper just to kind of clog up the board in the early games, but you're really relying on your SI and fire control cards like Vile Feast, Ice Shard, Avalanche, Box, Whale, Vengeance, Ruination, even Blighted Ravine to slow down the game, to control your opponent's board until that turn 9 where you can just jam Field Rush and pretty much just say win the game. And then of course we have an extra finisher in the form of Atrocity, just to send Tryndamere to your opponent's Nexus if Field Rush doesn't kill them on the spot. And what makes a good SI failure deck is its plethora of control cards. We want to be playing Field Rush, of course, as our main win condition, but we can play that as soon as turn 9, or at least when we have 9 mana crystals and 3 spell mana banked. And so that means until turn 9 we have to stall the game, not die, and use our control cards very cautiously and ration them out over the turns. What SI Failure does is it's very flexible in its control tools, meaning that there's options that punish your opponent for developing into their attacks or developing their board, and there's punishers for them if they don't develop the board and try to open attack. On the development side, if they want to develop into their attacks, they have to think about, oh, am I playing into Avalanche? Am I playing into Blighted Ravine? Am I playing into Ruination? Am I playing into them just playing a unit down that might make my attack worse? This is where a card like Ice Pillar is really good because it just gives you a free blocker, and now your opponent either has to commit more cards to their attack, or your Ice Pillar just made their attack worse for free. And now if they decide, oh, I have to open attack because I can't develop into an Avalanche, then you have cards like Vile Feast, Ice Shard, the Box, even like Vengeance. Although Box is more of like a development punish because, you know, they have to develop units for Box to work. But nonetheless, it's all these fast speed removal cards that punish your opponent for making really weak attacks, because if they want to attack with one big unit and they don't want to develop their Ruination, suddenly they're very vulnerable to a card like Vengeance. And this is where you want to make your opponent's life just really miserable, in the sense that they don't know which cards they want to play around, and this is a very core aspect of a control SI failure deck. You want to be banking your mana, you want to be passing very aggressively so long as you have ways of punishing both their development and their open attacks. And this is a good way to not only get into your opponent's head, but also just have as many answers for any kind of board state out there. As for the combo itself, well, it's very hard to call it a combo because you just play Field Rush, but there are a few things you can do leading up to that turn 9 where you do play Field Rush that will greatly improve how impactful it is when you play Field Rush. And I think the most important thing, although not necessary because Field Rush in itself is already a very powerful card, is that you want to try to level up Trundle before you cast Field Rush. This gives your Trundle overwhelm on the same turn that you play Field Rush, presuming that you're attacking on the turn you play Field Rush, and that gives your opponent just and it just represents lethal on its own. So before you cast Field Rush, you want to try to play Trundle and level it up. And this is much different than how TLC used to play, because they're happy just playing Trundle, killing it off, because it was more about the Ice Pillar instead of Trundle. But now you have to play so that you don't like accidentally lose your Trundle for not good reason, and then you can't level up your Trundle when you play Field of Rush. Now, of course, this isn't very necessary. If you need to sack your Trundle to stay alive, you should do that. But the ideal situation that can happen sometimes is you play Trundle leading up to turn 8. On turn 8, you play Ice Pillar, which not only levels up your Trundle, but also allows you to play Tryndamere on the same turn. And then you cast Field of Rush, and now suddenly you have 2 level Trundles and two Tryndameres on the board, and your opponent's represented with just an insane amount of board pressure that's actually very sticky and can't be removed very easily. The only real way to remove a kind of board like this is either like a Ruination of your opponent's own, for Will of Ionias, or like a Deny, and it's still not easy. I will say another thing is, if you do play Tryndamere before Field of Rush, it's best to not let your Tryndamere level up, so the inverse of Trundle, because once you play Field of Rush, you kind of want your Tryndamere to be a level 1, so that after it turns into a level 2, it actually gains a considerable amount of health. So when Tryndamere levels up, it gains 5 health, and so when you pull a 10-10 level 1 Tryndamere out of the deck, it would also gain that health when it turns into level 2. And then of course, after you have all of this wide board state with Overwhelm, you still have Atrocity over the top to deal that extra bit of damage if you need to. And taking a look at the matchups that are pretty popular right now, let's think about where Field of Rush kind of fits into. Now, traditionally, SI Fairy decks struggle against Azir or Azirelia. Just not being able to deal with the free attacks combined with a lot of Sand Soldiers makes it a pretty difficult matchup. But because we're playing SI, we get access to a card like the Box, which is really crucial in just dealing with an Azirelia turn and just dealing with a lot of Blade cards on the same turn. Our matchup isn't actually that bad. It's probably somewhere within like the 35 to 40% range, but still pretty heavily unfavored. Now, where I do think this deck does shine is against the very prevalent portion of the GP Sej players on ladder. We have a lot of control cards to kind of stabilize against their swarm tools. Avalanche clears a whole lot of their early board, and if we just Vengeance Ruinate their champions, they can't really get much sticking and going on from there. And then of course they have a very hard time dealing with Field of Rush and big units that they can't really easily remove. So this is pretty heavily favored for Field of Rush in this matchup. And of course, Field of Rush or any SI Fairy deck aims to just really farm those aggro decks. Pirates, Discard, you name it, just kind of get slaughtered by a plethora of Shadow Owl's control cards. You have the Whales, you have the Ice Shards that just, they can't stick a board. You're at 20 health by their turn 5 and you just play Field of Rush. You don't even need Field of Rush, you just play a Trundle, you level it up, you play a Tryndamere and you just win on the spot. Sewer decks is a little bit of an interesting part. I haven't played this matchup enough to really know who's favored, but we do have a lot of control cards. They can't really deal with Ruination unless they have Deny. And, you know, we have Vile Feast into Vengeance. We have good ways of popping their spell shields, and we have that single target removal, so that if they don't level up Sivir and they just try to go all in with a Ghost Flurry combo, we do have ways of preventing that from actually killing us. Excuse me. Some additional notes that I do want to add onto this list that obviously can't be shown here just for visual sake is that Field of Rush does really poorly into those Ionia decks with Deny. So this is your Ez Karma, this is your Zoe Lee, this is your Auction Lee maybe, in which they might be running Will of Ionias, they might be running Denies, you can't stick your Tryndameres, you can't cast Field of Rush, and then outside of that, your deck honestly doesn't do too much. So that's a very unfavorable matchup for you. Now, another deck that's been gaining in popularity recently is Shen J4 or even Fiora Shen, and on ladder, a lot of these decks aren't running Denies, and so your Ruinations, your Vengeances, your Field Rush gotta go off freely, and those decks really struggle to deal with a card like Tryndamere, for example, and you can just clobber them with Tryndamere turn after turn. So there's some popular matchups that you'll face on ladder and kind of where this deck is positioned within the meta. Now, finally, if you made it to the end, I have 3 games that I want to showcase for you guys. These are against different matchups that, Azirelia should be unfavored, but you'll kind of see how the game lines out for us. We have a game against GP Sej and a game against Azir Burn. Relatively straightforward deck, but you'll see in action how the control cards are used turn after turn, leading up to the turn where you play Feel the Rush. So if you enjoyed the deck guide up to this part, feel free to leave a like and a subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And stick around for the games. But without further ado, I thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the games. Alright, we have 2 boxes and like a couple whales. Time to outgrind. Alright, we'll just outgrind, right? This matchup is like what? 30-70? Yeah, it's always nice making a deck that gets put up there. I wish I could do that. I wish I had the capacity. Riven's better. Wait, the board. Every time I play a different deck, I need to change the board. Learn from watching you. Trundle's a really good card. Oh, sick. So no Deus is really good. It's a possibility of having an Azir though. I can like Val this right now. It's probably the highest Val feast value I get, unless it's 2-1 elusive. And I still have the Ice Shard, right? If you didn't have Deus, it's likely as like Azir. No problem. For some reason I thought Thornblade was like +4 instead. Not that it would have made a difference. There's Azir. Am I holding on this to get Valia the heal? Does that make sense? Your net crash for a bit. What are your thoughts and comments on the deck? I mean, it's pretty stable, right? A few cards that look weird were like Sun Guardian. I don't think that card's ever good. God, this Avalanche is so sick. But I should wait until he plays Blade. And then I can't block Sparring. I should Avalanche now, and then he can't play Duet this turn. I think that's better off. It's just like awkward with the Sparring still on the board. If this was on the board, I could simply wait until he plays Duet. At least now I have an Ice Shard. So I think this worked out relatively nicely. When he plays Duet, I just Ice Shard his board. And now we drop Trundle on a relatively empty board. We're in a pretty good spot. I think I'm always a fan of Cygnus. Sorry, I've already seen two whatchamacallits, Shapestones. I'm not playing around the third. Not a third would have even mattered here. Yeah, Azirelia Azir, back up to the most played deck on ladder. Funny how that works. Maybe I should play your deck. You wanna drop me a list feint? I'll run it a couple times, maybe.
Quick hands make quick work.
Oh, his burn deck? I see. Oh, are you talking about your Draven Riven PNZ burn one? If he plays a card, am I sad? Yeah. That was reason enough to block this, I guess. Oh, Draven Teemo. Degenerate. Sure, buddy. You don't say. Well, he's forced to play that. I should just play this. I know all three of his cards in his hand. He can't win this. I just need a deck that works for me and wins games. Right now I don't know what that is. Bow to your king. That's me. What am I doing this turn? Should I just avalanche? Does that make sense? Should I just whale? Does that make sense? Have I seen Duckling Sej deck? Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't played it though. An avalanche next turn, I guess. He has one card left. This whale probably doesn't get more value than this unless he plays like another Deus. I don't get the value off the heal or the regen, but next turn I have avalanche if I want it. Probably better than just taking the damage. Yeah, oh, he is. Okay. So he did have it. So that's a little unfortunate. I could just like vengeance his Azirelia too. I do want to play Field Rush next turn. No matter what happens, I should just be alive though, right? Loses to elusives. Yeah, a lot of things lose to elusives right now. Interesting. How do I lose this game? He gets some double attack through. He gets like double this Deus like nonsense. I can just avalanche, I guess. So I should block a blade. And then he has 2 units. Plus 3 from here. I sack Trundle. I Field Rush. I can also just play Tryndamere this turn if he doesn't have like this last card though. It's really sketchy. He plays. Oh, that was his thing. So now he has attack, right? Okay, that's fine. We just pass. If he develops this, we avalanche. If he open attacks, we don't die. Really? Oh, we are dead. No, we're not dead. What could this last card be that would kill us if we don't block? Like, we just don't block, right? You can just, like, play Ravine. What do I think about Malphite? It's a good question. I haven't played much Malphite, so can't give you the best answer there. Give me 1 second though. I'll talk a little bit after the game. I should just let this through. If it's like a... I would lose to the 5 mana dude. Whereas now I don't. He does his swap, I just Vengeance, and he has no more swaps. This pool is really awkward, because like if he swaps here and then I guess he can swap here then swap there. So this block didn't make sense. Might just Vengeance his Azir. Or do I? Do I just Vengeance his Azirelia? Unless this card's Deny. It saves me 5 health. I could still be the card, and then it would actually matter. So, say it's the Blade Dance 2, and then, yeah, this is just correct. And then I just Field Rush next turn and win the game. So Malphite Talia is always like a... Sure. Malphite Talia is always like that, like, deck that's kind of silently in like the background. I feel like that deck's like pretty good. I'm not sure like since the Viego stuff came out, what's changed, or like the issue is like most like fast-paced aggressive decks kind of like dump on Malphite, especially now that we have like the Sivir decks. And most ways to beat the Sivir decks are kind of decks that either are like the elusive aggro ones, or just like the burn ones, or like the faster aggro ones. Malphite kind of falls in the same bucket of what it loses to. He had like Will of Ionia there. I guess he's still dead. It's kind of like what you're hedging around. If he has Ghost, I guess I top deck the Freeze, but so like I wouldn't have lost the Ghost. But like if I like didn't know that, which I didn't. Damn. My board. Someone remind me to change my damn board. They run like 1 Ghost? I think they're more likely to run 2 or 3 nowadays. 1 Ghost was sort of the early days. Ghost is such an insane card. At least for their deck. It's much more combo kill oriented. If I play this just gets Make It Rain, then I can't Avalanche. He's gonna open attack. If I play this, I can still Avalanche next turn. Seems fine. There's no poor training for this guy. I'm sure it's a good draw. I'll let this proc. I think this matters a lot less in this matchup. Now he could like Make It Rain or something, but that seems kind of weird. I don't think I've seen a single list that runs less than 2 Ghosts. It's a good draw. It's a good draw too. If I play this, and there's not like he can play a 3/3. Scary. There's no point in a Warning Shot here. I guess he wants to play Black Market Merchant. It's kind of weird playing Warning Shot there because he gets the dude. I mean, now he's just coming to open attacking when he wants to play Gangplank. It's kind of awkward, huh? Play this, I play Trundle. He plays Black Spear. I should have thought that through then, huh? Tempo! What's up, man? You're mad at me for taking my LP? Don't we see I'm part of the NLP, dude? What's up, guys? Thanks so much for coming by. Imagine losing LP, also true. I just trade for his Gangplank. I get that Trinmere doesn't die when he levels. That was so scuffed. Yeah, we're just it's so funny when oh yeah, because you didn't get the Slay from the Ruinous Path. Tori, what's up, man? And Stormy Ben, thank you so much, guys, for the follows. Oh wait, did that not count as a Slay? Wait, I'm now just thinking about it. Cause like it leveled on your Azir's striking, right? Not the Ice Shard. It's so bizarre. Tempo likes you so much, I had to send a follow for being a cool dude. Oh, thanks so much, man. So I play Pillar next turn, and then I just play Field Rush on the following. So I just need to survive. What's the best way to survive? If I Vengeance this, plays like a Sejuani, I play Ice Pillar. Seems okay. Has he plundered me? No. Maybe he like even commits the plunder and we just get the Vengeance here. If we don't die next turn, we should win, theoretically speaking. Can't not play this now, right? Why are you finding Darkodius everywhere? He's just one of those people. He has the... You have to be everywhere if you want to spread your gospel, right? Like, you can't just like be in one stream and hope that what you preach spreads around. You have to like... You have to be the one to make sure that people receive the message, right? You say gospel, I say brand. Tremere does not count as Slayer Death, interesting. But it's so weird because like it says when I die, level up, right? It's kind of interesting. Just pay me in clout. You got it, buddy. Actually, that's kind of awkward. How do I kill this guy? Wait, how do I kill Sejuani? Wait. How am I killing a Sejuani? This is an issue. Vengeance, please? Oh, that's how I kill Sejuani. Oh. What am I doing here? I have blockers. He hooks this with like, I don't know, Gangplank. How am I winning this game? This is really awkward. Interesting. So that's all his units that I can expect. Ideally I can kill this ice pillar, but then I just tank a bit of damage here. It's not easy to kill this ice pillar. If I avalanche now, it means I take more damage on the swing. I can like surprise kill Sejuani with like a Battle Fury, I guess. That's kind of my way out. So I shouldn't play this Pillar until after he attacks. And he's gonna attack this turn. I can play Pillar into like some other card. And then I have Battle Fury in my attack to try to kill Sejuani. I just block like with my for free with my Trundle. So like these are free blocks. Ooh, it's an issue if my Trundle dies, huh? This does hook Sejuani, so unless he has second Sejuani in hand, I'm not sure how he saves it. I'll probably just play a whale here for mana. Okay, and the next turn I go in. The goal is to kill Sejuani. He's gonna like try to proc my face with something. Oh, and the atrocity. This is huge. Okay. So he needs warning shot or make it rain. So he has a warning shot. And then we Battle Fury our Tryndamere to kill a Sejuani. So that's second Sejuani. If he has second Sejuani, it's also kind of bad. Oh god. Okay, but if he doesn't have Sejuani, Atrocity kills him, right? Because this Tryndamere has 16. Oh, we're one off? Yikes. Uh-oh. We're kind of one off lethal, huh? That doesn't matter. We kill the keg, so that should reduce a lot of damage coming in. If he doesn't, oh, ooh, that's a good card. If Tryndamere dies, we get to Atrocity it. Trynd is lethal. Oh, it is. What am I saying? Why is this 18? Oh, cause Feel the Rush. Right. I thought it was just 8 base stat. He could have freeze of his own, but I don't beat that, right? Yeah, I just thought he was 8, just out of habit. He needs 3 sisters if he's running it. Harpoon doesn't even stop this. We win here? Yeah, like we win here. So here's like a quick tip, like killing level 1 Tryndamere doesn't stop Atrocity. I'm not sure if that's a tip or just I guess a general piece of advice. Burn, baby, burn. This hand kind of sucks. Ooh, this hand really sucks. Alright, it's time for 2 Vow Feasts to carry me. That sucks. What does Talia Malphite beat? If I Val Feast this, if he open attacks, I can just Ice Shard. I should Val Feast his 2-2 or his 2-3. If I pass any open attacks at the Val Feast his 3-1. Say he plays Draven, which is probably the most likely thing he does next turn. I Val Feast his 3-1. I have 4 mana and I can't play Fury. Should be fine. If I draw like Avalanche, I'd rather just keep this vial. Catalyst. If he has Fervor, I'll contest, I guess. If I do it this order, it actually dies to this. But I want the... Oh, this is awkward. If he has Fervor now and I play this, it kills the Spiderling. But if I do it the other way around, I lose my heal. So I think I should just double Val Feast if he has Fervor. I'd really hate to double Val Feast. I think it's the best deck for climbing right now. I think any, like, a lot of, like, the Sivir decks are just pretty solid overall if you want to climb. So, like, Sivir Akshan, Sivir Zed, Sivir LeBlanc, even, like, Sivir Demacia, whatever's, like, fits your flavor. Other than that, any, like, elusive aggro deck is probably, like, not bad either. So we play this, next one we have Ice Shard or Whale, we have good blocks, we go to 6, we don't really have a good use of doing what we need to do here. Alternatively, you can like Vengeance his Azir, which never feels good. I mean, right now, like, if you've seen just like right now there's just like so many different decks you could play and honestly like do fine with. That it's annoying. I do this then Whale. You've been doing good with Azirelia? Yeah, like Azirelia is like a good deck right now. What does blocking here do? Nothing. Azirelia does good right now. I think like there's a lot of like different elusive decks that do pretty good right now. Sivir decks do pretty good right now. Pretty sure like Zoe Lee, like Ez Karma, if you're like Shen J4, any deck you name it, at least does like fine. I probably should just Vengeance this turn instead of passing. Oh, of course. The no LP program. So if you're in Masters, you have a thing called LP, and it determines your rank. And I unfortunately have lost pretty much all my OP, so that's what it is. I made it up. It's a joke. How are we losing this game? Just not a single Avalanche or like Blighter Ravine. Just kind of did us in. Did us dirty. We could Val Feast Vengeance as Rune Runner at the very least. You're at 680 LP lot. Damn. What the hell is this attack? This deck doesn't run fucking denies, does it? He has just like decimates and shits. Blocking here is the same amount of damage as not blocking. He just has like double decimates, right? and like maybe like a fervor.
That old trick again.
While they run deny. Beats me, man. Kinda running out of heal though. Just says double deci. No, not double decimate. Can I die? If he had decimate, he would have played it, right? If I don't play it this turn, if I pass, he passes back. I double ice shard, I'm still alive. I should play this turn and just hope he can't kill me. I guess we're dead. It's kind of hard to like play Tryndamere next turn too. Like if I couldn't pass this turn, I'd like play Catalyst and that'd feel really bad too. I could Ruination, but I'd be in a similar spot. Cause like his board just dies to double ice shard, so that's kind of like a.
I have my orders.
Oh, but we die to double ice shard. I got it. But we don't die to. We don't die to double ice shard plus catalyst. So he has to draw more burn here. Can he do it?
Things in place.
It's literally if he draws like burn. So he has to top deck Fervor or Decimate. He already used 2 Decimates. He's not dead yet either. We're 1 off. Oh no, we have Fury. So he needs to draw. He needs to have top deck Decimate this turn. Or he has a unit and he top decks Fervor. Wait. Did he slay anything? Oh, he didn't slay anything. Oh my god. Get in there. And there should be no lethal. So Runus didn't like do anything there because he didn't slay anything, which was really funny.